Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome again to yet another Essentials, and this time we are working with AI since it's the hype. So, before we start off, right, can I have a quick confirmation if you guys can see me, hear me very clearly? I'm just looking at the chats here in the studio, so please let me know if you guys are clearly able to see me and hear me. Yes, yes, yes. Good evening. Okay. Yes. Okay, great. Thanks for that confirmation. So, let me also switch this to live chat so I don't miss out on any of your chats. Okay, well, so before we start off, a few things that we do at the routine. I'm just here to introduce you to this session. And for all the people who are joining us directly from YouTube, welcome. And if you want to get your friends, you can get them today on in tomorrow's session. So yeah, let's get started with the old routine. So how it is going to work is, first I'm going to explain you how to get yourself enrolled if you have not done so yet, how to mark your attendance, where you can see your schedule, and how to get your certificates. And thereafter I'm going to welcome your instructor for the next 3 days, Faiz Khatri, who is going to be your instructor, mentor, teacher, trainer, whatever you may want to call him, right? And he's going to teach all of the things that you are going to learn today in basically building your own LLM kind of thing, right? Kind of basically building your own chat GPT. So yeah, so let's get started. I hope my screen is visible. So the first thing, how to get yourself enrolled. So if you go in the description, if you see, right, there is something called as all-in-one documentation. So you can just click on that documentation, and that is basically where you will find all the necessary links throughout this program. Yep. So again, you can find day one, day two, day three links. Enrollment link is not there, so let me just go back again. Yep. So this is the enrollment link. You just come down below and you can see the enrollment link. Click on this enrollment link, and that will take you to our website where basically we need to get ourselves enrolled. Currently, I'm logged in, so it is working. If you're not logged in, just enter your mobile OTP and you can get started. So I'm just going to click enroll. Yep. Now that I've enrolled, you can see the whole schedule. So day one, day two, day three, and yep, this is basically it. And once the session is live, you can click on this button to go to the YouTube, that is currently where you're watching it, and you can mark your attendance. So click on mark attendance, and you can rate us from 1 to 10. If you like the session, give us a 10. If you are giving anything below than 10, please let us know what went wrong. So please ensure that you're marking what went wrong. Currently, I'm going to give a 10 and click on uh, nothing and submit. Yeah, now my attendance is marked and my attendance is 33%. So you have to basically attend all the three sessions, and at the end of the session, now yes, we have made some changes. There will be a small exam that will happen, that will be visible here. Once you have done all the sessions, you will be asked 10 questions based on the session that you have learned, or based on the AI, whatever you're learning. And then once you clear off those exams, you're going to get a certificate. Yep. So that is the whole thing. This is the place where you have to come for marking your attendance, seeing your session, getting your certificates, right? So yep, that is basically it. If you want to join our WhatsApp channel to get all the further updates regarding our program, please do that from here. If you want to join our Discord server, you can do it here. You want to add to your calendar all this schedule, you can do it here. And if you want to refer your friends, you can do it using this, right? You can just basically click here, get all the links and send to your friends, right? Apart from that, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please go and subscribe now, share with your friends so that we can reach to more and more people. A very new announcement that I just want to make, since I'm here, is we have started a Gen AI program which we are launching very soon. Gen AI engineer program, a 6 months long program. It will be hybrid, offline, online, and you can just check that program here. I'm just going to open it right now in front of you. So yep, so you can check this program. We are teaching more than 200 AI models which you'll get access to. We have only 30 seats, so you can go and check this program. It is one of the best that is in the market. Yep, so that's about the Gen AI program. I'll talk more about it later, after the sessions are done. And then also the student ambassador program. So if you want to become a part of the exclusive cohort of the ambassadors, where we do a lot of competition hackathons, you can just go and click on the student ambassador. Today is the time if you want to join the July batch. The July batch starts literally tomorrow. That is first, right? So if you have not done it yet, you can just click here, fill the form, apply and fill the form, and be a part of it. Yep. So that was my time with this. How to mark attendance? Okay. So as I mentioned, come here. See, this is the link. Let me just show from start. So if you go in the description, you will see a link that is there. Just click on this link, I'll also, what I'll do is I'll also uh, copy this link and put in the chat for you guys. Just a minute. Mm, yep. It's in the chat. Let me just pin it. Yep. So now it should be pinned and everybody should be able to see the thing. Okay. So yeah, that was all about it from my side. So now let me just welcome your instructor. So let me just stop my screen and get him. Yep. Hi Faiz, how are you? See you on mute.
Hey, hi, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible now.
Hi, hi.
Great. So first we
Yeah.
have almost
Mhm.
around more than 200 students and more are joining. So yeah, very excited about this session. And over to you from here. All the best students, please. Before I go, one small thing: do not spam the chat when Fez is teaching because he'll literally be not able to address those queries. So when he's teaching, focus to what he's teaching, and when he's asking for your queries, please. That would be the right time to actually spam the chat with sensible queries. Yeah. So with that said, over to you, Fez, and all the best to everyone. Yep.
Thank you so much, Prasad. I'll take it from here. Hi, good evening, everyone. Okay. Yeah, so just a quick introduction about myself. Okay, so my name is Faiz Khatri. I'm based in Mumbai. Okay, I am a Gen AI engineer and I'm into this industry from past 5 years now. Okay, I work with Google. Okay, I work on Google's projects. Okay, today's agenda you would be all clear about. Okay, so today what basically we would be doing is we would be building our own GPT. Okay, from scratch is what the title says all about. This is what we would be doing today. Okay, so before actually understanding that your own GPT and everything, okay, let's just understand the need, that why you would need your own GPT. And before understanding the need of your own GPT, let's just understand what is the need of a GPT, how exactly it is different from what was there which was initially. Okay, and what exactly was there initially is something which we need to understand first, from where it all started and where it from all began. Okay, so this is what I believe I would be majorly starting from. Okay, so we would be taking it from a very very scratch. Okay, very scratch. Okay, so it was a time back in 2018 19. I'm talking only in terms of India. Okay, so there was something which is known as traditional AI, which is named today as traditional AI. So what we used to do is we used to have machine learning and deep learning, neural network machine learning algorithms. So we used to go ahead and perform some tasks, such as now today I'm in a YouTube meet and I need to just go ahead and segregate your comments based on positive comments and negative comments. Okay, do a classification. Okay, so the ideal approach was to go ahead and take a lot of data, train a machine learning or a deep learning neural network on that data. Okay, there obviously there were certain technicalities involved, but we are going ahead and taking a generic overview of that. Okay, so a lot of data, positive comments data, negative comments data, we go ahead and segregate that, label them, and we go ahead and train the model such that whenever we have a new comment based on the keywords on which it learned on, actually it goes ahead and then classify that this is a positive comment or a negative comment. So this was a traditional process which goes, this is something which many less people would be able to go ahead and relate. Second one here could be your Gmail application, which goes ahead and identify if this message is a spam or not. Okay, your text messages goes ahead and identify whether this message which has been sent is a spam or not. Okay, so this type of problem, anything related to text, like understanding and classifying the text into various categories, certainly which was done by using traditional AI. Correct. So this, for that, what we need skilled machine learning people to actually go ahead and get the data, pre-process the data, clean the data, make it ready for training and everything. But with the game changed in where back in 2021 GPT came up with, like OpenAI as a company came up with their generative pre-trained transformer model, which they called as a GPT 3.5 turbo. Okay, GPT 3.5 turbo was a game changer in the market. What it did is it went ahead and made it so simple, just by adding a certain line of text in natural language you can actually go ahead and perform that task. Okay, how they are able to do it is something which we will comment later, but what is happening now, a text classification, if I need to go ahead and do, I'll just write it over there. Okay, so you are a smart text classification, I'll go ahead, classification person, you, all I will go ahead and send you text message, identify whether it is a spam or not. It will go ahead and do that for you. You yourself are well aware about the capabilities of chat GPT. You would have used it on a daily basis, correct? So how actually it is able to do that? Because this models, the chat GPT, your Claude and everything uses LLM at the back end. LLM are termed as large language models. Okay, so they basically use this LLMs at the back end. These LLMs are trained on trillions of token, like they have given a sequence of tokens, like this is the information, if this is the set of information, that this would be the consecutive information which would be coming later. Okay, tons and trillions of tokens are given to them. They have been trained such that actually now these LLMs have a capability of understanding what a human is trying to write in terms of natural language. Okay, every day there is an enhancement in terms of LLM. More the tokens, better the LLM it would be. Okay, so how it changed is GPT said now you don't need to go ahead and train your models from scratch. Use my LLMs. I'll charge you based on the tokens you go ahead and use. So what are tokens over here then? If GPT has said that I'll charge you based on the tokens you go ahead and use, so tokens are nothing but the number of input words which you go ahead and give it to GPT. Okay, that it will go ahead and charge you based on the words you go ahead and give it as input, and based on the word you derived as an output from the model. So per token, it will go ahead and charge you. Now these LLMs are computationally very big. If you need to go ahead and deploy it, and if you need to go ahead and run it somewhere, you would need tons of GPU computational power to go ahead and make it run. And at a speed in which they go ahead and operate, it would be very much like millions of dollars are burned on a minute basis just to go ahead and get your query resolved by chat gpt. Okay, chat gpt end of the day is an end product which is developed over and above an LLM which is there from OpenAI. OpenAI and Claude, on the other hand, also have the API exposed, okay, by which you can go ahead and explore that API, hit that API, and then go ahead and get a response. And it charges you based on the tokens. But when you go ahead and do so, you are sharing your data with those companies, OpenAI, Claude, Gemini, Google. You are going ahead and sharing those data. So majorly in the industries, what we have felt that whenever we have clients from a banking domain, healthcare domain, they are not comfortable in going ahead and doing so. They are not comfortable in going ahead and sharing the data to any third person like OpenAI, Claude. Okay, what they actually go ahead and want is everything on their environment, everything to their environment. Nothing should not, no chunk of information should go outside their environment. It should be only within their environment. But as I said, the computational power then comes into picture. Also, on the other hand, they have developed this LLM by spending billions of dollars. Why they would be going ahead and sharing their secret recipe with us, that how they go ahead and develop and exposing this LLM to the public? These are the two main reasons why you cannot use it. Either they don't want to share it, and even if they are sharing, you don't have that enough computational power to go ahead and run those LLM. To This is the current scenario where we are right now. Okay, we understood that why it is and what are the limitations. So it is very important that I should have something for my laptop or for my computer, for the which would be personal to me, which I can go ahead and draft and use it according to my purpose. So what during this workshop we would be learning is we would be creating a end to end chatbot. Okay, I won't say a chatbot, a system that will go ahead and use your local LLM to go ahead and answer any of your query in natural language. Okay, everyone is clear till here what is the agenda for? this workshop, or anyone have any doubt? Okay. LLM stands for large language models. Okay. Basically, they are trained on large chunk of data. Okay. So not to get into technicality and just to make you understand in a simple words. Okay. Those LLMs basically are trained on big corpus of data, like what websites, your PDFs and everything. They go ahead and learn it on a sequence. The nature of them is generative is nature, like you will give a sequence of text, it will go ahead and predict that what would be the next sequence of text according to your input sequence of text. Okay, so those are basically LLMs. Those are generative in nature. Yeah. So also we have a question from Suresh that how to create your own LLM. So creating your own LLM would need tons of data. To go ahead and get tons of data, you need to spend millions of dollars to go ahead and get those data, and then you would need high-end computational powers like billions of computational power to actually go ahead and train them. Okay. So training of them is a combination of supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement machine learning, and then you have encoders, decoders, so a lot of technicalities involved. So yes, it is possible if you are a person who has knowledge about machine learning, deep learning, the core foundation of this LLM. Yes, you can develop that. The only limitation is the cost. Okay, the only limitation which comes the cost, because it is not an individual job to go ahead and you as an organization or as a community come together and you go ahead and invest billions and millions and get this LLM trained, and you go ahead and use that LLM. Okay. So at the end of the day, today we would be utilizing an LLM only. We won't be building an LLM from scratch. We would be utilizing an LLM which can be used offline. LLM is Ollama site recent. Correct. Yeah. No, there is no prerequisites of NLP or anything. You won't be requiring any prerequisite. Okay, so a basic of Python knowledge is what you would be required to have. A basic of how the REST API works is what you would be understand. You need to know. Okay, REST, each and every word which I speak in terms of documentation is basically shared with you. Okay. Then any code, if I go ahead and write, do you want me to allow you time to go ahead and write that code? Because eventually I would be uploading that code. Okay, if you want time, I can give you time to go ahead and write that code as well. And also I would go ahead and tell you that how to hit routes, or how to go ahead and use Postman to go ahead and use Ollama. No, we are not using rack chatbot. Okay, we are not doing any sort of rack sort of thing. We would be maybe in the upcoming session, but today's session is mainly to go ahead and give you a clarity that when we say that we would be having our offline LLM, then what exactly it is. The idea is that because ChatGPT, Anthropic, Claude, many of the models which are good performing model, what they have done is they have kept their recipe secret. But out there are many people or many companies who have exposed their LLM, and they have given their LLM to the market for research, and they have exposed the LLM, and it is open source. You can directly go ahead and utilize it. Okay. A quick blueprint of what we would be doing in this 3 days. Okay, would be one that we would be going ahead and firstly understanding that what is Ollama, how to set up Ollama, and how to go ahead and call its API. First thing. Secondly, we would be going ahead and creating chat system in which we would be going ahead and maintaining a conversation history, and we would be going ahead and maintaining a system in which we will go ahead and write a prompt. And third thing, we would be creating an end-to-end application just like your chat gpt, where you can go ahead and use an offline model which is there on your system, and we would be querying anything in natural language and it would be responding in natural language to you. So this would be the end-to-end achievements which we would be doing in these 3 days. If you don't know Python, what you can do is you can use Ollama directly, even though there is an option to go ahead and not to use Python. I can show you in the terminal as well. Okay. Now, proceeding, I'll share my screen. Okay. If you could see my screen, this is what exactly I was mentioning right now. Okay. Everything is mentioned here in terms of words as well. Okay. So you can refer this notes later. I have updated the URLs as well, which can redirect you to the pricing which they go ahead and cost for per token consumption as well. You can see my screen, correct? Okay. Wait, let me check why you can't see my screen. Um,
Fez, it is now
okay.
visible.
Now it is visible, correct? Okay, great. Okay, so I have written something in terms of documentation. Okay, whatever I have said. Okay, in terms of pricing and everything. So we as an organization, it is very important to go ahead and understand that it is not feasible. So if you go ahead and create an application with lot of traffic and you are getting charged for every token consumption, then it would be something which would be not feasible for an initial organization or a startup organization. Okay, it is very much costly. Okay, so setting up your own LLM offline is something which could be preferable sometimes. Okay, so to go ahead and do that, okay, the very first step which we would be going ahead and doing is we would be setting up Ollama offline. Okay, to go ahead and set Ollama offline. Okay, Ollama, will talk about Ollama till the time it is getting downloaded. Okay, we'll talk about Ollama. Okay, so this is the website. You just need to go to Google and type Ollama.com. Okay, and you can just go ahead and download it from here, and you just need to go ahead and install it. In the meantime, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make you understand that what this Ollama is. Okay, so Llama, you would be aware about Llama is the model directly from Meta. Okay, there is one model from Microsoft known as Phi. Okay, there is one model known as which was there from DeepSeek. Okay, now these are open source model. These are freely available out there. Okay, but what Llama did is Llama made it as a marketplace. Okay, Ollama made it as a marketplace. Like what I'm doing, I am bringing everything at one place. Okay, and you go ahead and use it through me. Okay, there is something which is known as the actual model. Okay, and the Ollama layer, which will go ahead and add a certain level of speed to your responses, and there would be something which is known as output. Okay, now, your question would be without Ollama, if I go ahead and try to make it work, you could also go ahead and do that. There are alternatives. There is something which is known as Hugging Face, by which you can go ahead and download the models from there and run it through there. Okay, but Ollama is the most promising and the best. Right now out there in the market, by which you can go ahead and use this models locally. Okay, when I say you can go ahead and use these models locally, even though there is a limitation that the speed and the performance of this model won't be up to the mark which you could see for chat gpt, gemini and everything. Okay, because you would be using your local computational power, and these models are comparatively trained on the tokens of either 2 billion or a 3 billion token max to max. We have models up to 100 billion tokens as well, but still it would be very difficult for me to go ahead and make you run on this computer of mine which is just an i5 processor. Okay, so it is advisable to for any model which is within 2 billion tokens. Whereas on the other hand, if I go ahead and show you that the gpt 3.5 turbo which was initially launched by gpt, that was having a token count of somewhere around uh, 300 billion tokens, 300 billion tokens, which is 100 times of what we would be using now. So obviously you would be seeing a slight drop, but yes, you would be having the gen ai feel, which you would be going ahead and experiencing. But yes, that match is something which we won't be getting. Okay. Okay, so if you are done downloading, or do you want me to wait, or I can proceed with that? Spelling to type, yeah, it's ollama.com. Okay, this every detail is something which I would be uploading after the session to the link which you were shown initially, all in one documentation. You would be finding all this. Okay, so all you need to do is just download it, okay, directly from here, and you need to go ahead and install it. Okay, so take 2 minutes of time. You can go ahead and download it. So right now, whoever are there in the meeting, don't worry. We are not writing a single line of code yet. Okay, we are not writing. We are just directly going ahead and experiencing or exploring it through the terminal only. Okay, so there is something which is known as the list of models, which we will look till the then while it is getting downloaded. Okay, so olama.com/search will go ahead and give you all the list of models which are there within their environment. So there are tons of open source model available. Okay, each one has its own what I would say uniqueness. Okay, they have been trained on different data, but yes, every model is a gen ai based model, and they will go ahead and give you the gen ai field which you see in the chat gpt. Okay, my personal favorite over here is the 5.3 model. Okay, the reason two reasons why I personally feel that this is a good model, because here it is trained on 3 billion token, which is a decent number to go ahead and make it run on a local average local system which we have usually. Okay, and it is comparatively faster. Okay, and the responses are much tailored as compared to the adult models which we have used, and it is from microsoft. Okay, few details if you want to know about the 5.3 model, you can find it in this documentation as well. Okay, there are commands written to go ahead and run this 5.3 model. Okay, and also some details about 5.3 models within this link you can go ahead and find. Okay, so I would be sharing that with you, this links and everything. I would be sharing that with you in the all-in-one documentation place. Terminal argument, yes, we will move when we would be doing that. Right now it is important for us to go ahead and get the Ollama downloaded, and once it is downloaded, I'll go ahead and show you that how you could run it. Okay, so I believe more 2 minutes would be enough to go ahead and get it started. I'll upload the notes, Ujjal, I'll upload the notes on all-in-one documentation. You have an option to explore n number of models which you can, okay, over here. But yes, bigger the model, more it would take time to go ahead and respond. Okay, and more of the storage it will take on your computer. Okay, so deep seek a model with somewhere around how many tokens are here. Minimum token like 1 billion token is 5 GB, and here 6671 billion token is 404 GB. So that is something which you need to take care. If you have this much of storage and you believe that you would have a Nvidia 3050 at least processor, you can try this model as well on your local system. Okay. We have to download it, correct? Okay. Now the next part here would be to go ahead and understand that if you could see over here on my screen that there is something which is known as context. So any inputs from the students, like what you believe the context is? Yes, what you see as a context over here. So anyone can give an input that what do you understand by context? So DeepSeek had a context of 128K, and the same context is seen over here of a 128K. So every time within a model there are something which is known as a context length. Okay, so we as a human, we digest a certain set of information at one go. Okay, so if this session is for 1.5 hour, you would be able to understand it. Okay, 2 hours, okay, 3 hours, but if continues 8 hours, I go ahead and talk and you go ahead and listen to it, there is a possibility that you may go ahead and miss on some of the information. Your optimum concentration or the performance can be there for 1 hour or 2 hour of session. This is what your span would be, okay, to give the your best of your understanding. So similarly, when the models are made, okay, so the founders of the model go ahead and decide that the ideal context window for this model could be 128 K, which is 121 1 lakh 28,000 tokens as an input. If you give 1 lakh 28,000 tokens as an input to the model, it will give its best performance. If you go ahead and increase that tokens, there is a chance that model may go ahead and miss on some information, or it may go ahead and hallucinate. Hallucinate is nothing but going ahead and making a error, just like a human error which we go ahead and do. Okay, so the best performance of the model can be achieved within its context window. Although if they have been locked within this context window, you cannot go ahead and pass your input text which could be greater than this many words or tokens, you could say. Okay, so this was about the context. Okay, so this is a decent amount of context which you can give to the model. Okay, it would be easily going ahead and understanding that. Okay, so once I assuming like everyone is done with the downloading part. Okay, so now we will open a terminal. Okay, so you just need to go ahead and type cmd. Okay, you can open the command prompt or PowerShell, whatever you want to open. Okay, I'll just go ahead and open PowerShell, Windows PowerShell. 5.3, you don't need to specify somewhere or download it. Okay, you need to go ahead and understand this one command over here. Okay, here, this line number 140, if you could see over here. Okay, this says Ollama run, and I have written 5.3 over here. So Ollama and run is the static command. Just this gets replaced by the model name. Okay, this thing over here get replaced by the model name. So I would be using 5.3. If you want to use any other model like llama 3 Mistel, you are open to go ahead and use that. For today I am just using 5.3. Okay, so Ollama run 5.3 is what I will do over here. Okay, Ollama run 5.3. If I go ahead and do so, for me it will go ahead and run the model directly, but for you, as you would be doing it for the first time, it will go ahead and download a 2 GB model which would be downloaded in your local system. Okay, and then it would be giving you an option to go ahead and send a message. Okay. Okay, smart. Well, it is working. It is giving prompt responses. Okay, the output is getting generated quick. Okay, I give the entry and it gives the output. So this was about 5.3. This is how you can go ahead and use it. So I'll wait. Okay, so no, you don't need to install 5.3. All you need to go ahead and do is Ollama run space 5.3, which you could see on my screen. I'll zoom my screen. This is the only command which you need to do. But to go ahead and run this command, it is important that you have your Ollama installed on your system. Okay, and you can replace this 5.3 with any of the model of your choice. Okay. So can I get a confirmation from you people that you are able to achieve what you could see on my screen now? Okay, and if not, then what is the issue that you are facing? In the meanwhile, I may go ahead and address some issues. Okay, I would you can go ahead and try any small model. This is, as you can see, this model, a very small model, 523 MB text model. Okay, we can try this model as well. 1.525 GB. So we can control D is to escape. Okay, and I'll just replace that with this model name. So it will pull that model, it will download that model, and then I can go ahead and query anything to that model. So 0.6 billion, 600 million, no, approximately a 600 million token model. You are getting this Ollama and 5.3 is not recognized internal. Okay, so you are getting this issue because Ollama is not installed. That's the reason it is not able to identify the Ollama command. Okay, let's try. Hi. Sorry. Okay, so as you could have noticed, if the model size reduces, the speed comparatively increases because it is directly utilizing the computational power. Okay, so if I go ahead and have a bigger model greater than 10 billion, obviously the performance would be good, but I may be compromising on my system. I may go ahead and it may go and crash, and I may be out of the meeting. So that's the reason I won't do that. But yes, if you want to try, you can obviously go ahead and try it after the class. Okay. So the first command says Ollama run and then space and then whatever the model you want to run, you just need to go ahead and write the name of that model. So now I have two models right now available with me. Okay, one is the Quen 0.6 billion, Quen 3 0.6 billion, and I have the Phi 3 model. And as I said, I would be using the Phi 3 models for today. So I'll just run that command again, Phi 3, and it would be running now. Okay. Okay. So any doubt till here, anyone? Try in Windows PowerShell for the people who are getting this error that process has terminated exit status too. Okay. We need to check what this possibly could be because of. Okay, so majorly I believe that when you are installing, make sure that it is a default installation such that it adds its part to the environment variable. For you maybe it is not been added, so what I would suggest, a quick solution for you would be to install and do a uninstall and do a default installation again. That may go ahead and solve it. Okay, after doing this, okay, it is very important for us to go ahead and understand the nature of this model, that how this model actually works. Just for saying, I have said you in the beginning of the session that yes, this model goes ahead and take a certain set of input and they go ahead and give you the sequence output. Okay, that what could be the possible token after this. But we need to actually go ahead and visualize that at how exactly it happens, and what exactly are the tokens which comes as an output and how we can look into it. Okay, so to achieve that, what we would be doing is we would be calling the REST API of Ollama. Okay, we would be running the API on a local host and calling it using any REST API application such as Postman. Okay, this is what we would be using. So anyone over here has heard about Postman? See, offline model, online model, don't get confused. So we had a very good question over here, which was from Rahul Mehra right now. Okay, he asked that if it is an offline model, can it give information from the real time? Okay, see, the idea of this LLM is to go ahead and see. An LLM capabilities is not defined or judged by how recent data and information it is able to go ahead and give you. Okay, it is judged on the basis of how well it goes ahead and understand your natural language instructions or questions. Okay, the capability of human language understanding is what defines a LLM to be a better LLM. Okay, so here when you ask that recent time data, the chat gpt models, the Gemini models also don't have a real time information fed to their LLM data. Okay, they go ahead and go to the internet, they fetch that information and give it to you if they are able to go ahead and do so. Okay, they are trained, they have a breakout period. Till that time they have been trained into certain data and they go ahead and respond based on their training or on the data on which they have been trained on. Okay, so also those online LLMs does not go to the internet unless and unless required. Okay. There are options within the APIs as well, by from which you can go ahead and yes, there are options. Yeah, I saw your message. There is an API, okay, by which you can go ahead and do functions called many method, but that's an altogether a different topic. Okay, we may go ahead and deviate. Okay. So, what's the idea is to go ahead and understand we have all achieved this. We are able to run a 5-3 model, and if I go ahead and ask it any question, it is able to go ahead and give a response to me. Yeah, if you have doubt, you can ask me. See, you are not hosting this chatbot on any public domain. You won't be hosting it to AWS Azure. But yes, if lot of people use concurrent users come, then obviously it would add a lot of weight, or I would say load to your system, and the code may break or the service may break. Okay, that is what could happen. To go ahead and make it, then it is again that you need to add load balancer, multiple CPUs, and everything is what you will need to manage. But yes, multiple users can also go ahead and use it. Response delay could be possibly there. Yes, response delay may also be there. Model is try any small model. I have Siddhartha, try any small model like Quen 3.3 colon 0.6 billion from Ollama. Okay, from their direct page. Okay, there you can go ahead and find this model as well. Okay, it's for 500 MB. That may go ahead and would be sufficient for now. Okay. So after doing this, okay, so today's session would be majorly towards the prerequisites, okay, understanding the prerequisite, not much of a coding is what we would be going ahead and doing, okay. Like we used this, we understood this, we went to Ollama, we explored some model. If you want to explore more and more models, you can do it after the session. After that, what you need to go ahead and do is you need to go ahead and download this application over here, Postman application. Okay, so this is something which we would be using to go ahead and build the backend of our application. Okay, to rest the API, the backend API of application. So obviously we would be developing a chatbot front end, and we would be having a backend API that would be calling the Ollama API and using the LLM to go ahead and fetch the response of the user question, which is sent from the front end. So the components go in this way. Okay, so you would be having something which is known as the front end. Okay, you would be having the front end. Okay, from front end user will send a message. Okay, that message would be sent to the backend API. Okay, so front end will go ahead and take the user message. That user message would be sent to the backend API, which will consume your Ollama model and return you an output which would be a response from the model. Okay, and this response will go back to the front end. So this is how all the components will go. From front end, a user message will come. It will hit a backend API, which will consume Ollama model, and then the output would be response, which would be sent back to the front end. So to and fro would be happening, and in the middle of all this thing, we would be having one more component over here, which will maintain your session. Okay, this component will go ahead and maintain your session and the conversation history, such that the model understand that what you are trying to say. Like for an example, if I go ahead and ask a question over here, give me what is the capital of India. Okay, and it goes ahead and say me New Delhi is the capital of India, and the very next question I've go ahead and ask who is the prime minister. So the context needs to be maintained that I am talking about India. So for that, we need to have something which is known as conversation history. So that would be maintained within the session over here. Okay. So these are all the components which we would be using to go ahead and develop this end-to-end chatbot interface. Backend programming language would be simple Python we would be using. Okay. It is easy to read, easy to understand. Okay. So any sort of API which we go ahead and build, we can go ahead and utilize Postman to go ahead and get the response from here. Understand that how the response are coming. Okay, basically I would say soft testing is what we would be doing using this Postman application. Okay, now if I need to go ahead and show you few things. Okay, now here if you could go ahead and see, I just go ahead and type the message over here. This Ollama run model, when you go ahead and do that, okay, it runs your model into a locally. Okay, so that's the reason we are writing localhost over here, and the port is 11434. And this is the router slash API slash generate. Okay, and it goes ahead and take two parameters as an input, that what is the model which you need to go ahead and use. Okay, and what is the prompt which you need to go ahead and send it to the model. Okay, so obviously as I said that I would be using 53, and the prompt which I may go ahead and send now would be uh, hello, how are you, the same. Okay, so here you would see that it is taking comparatively more time to respond, because it will only show output when it has received all the tokens. Okay, it is receiving the response right now. Okay, here you could have seen that there was something which is known as word by word you were able to see. The same thing is shown by chat gpt as well. So that is called as streaming, that terminology where you are able to see that what word the model has generated is known as streaming, where you see a word by word output. Okay, here now if you could see that the first thing which it generated was I, then a space m, and these are nothing but tokens over here which it is generating, and this is the same thing which you could see over here as an output which it has given in the beginning. Okay, so every time the model generates, it creates something, a token, and it says done. The flag would be either false or true. Till the time it becomes true, it would go ahead and try to generate an output. Okay, now what it has generated in a nutshell, if we go ahead and see, it is generated I am just a digital assistant, so I don't, T is over here, have feelings, but thanks for asking. How can I assist you today? Okay, and a question mark. Okay, so this is what it has generated, but what we see as an output, a natural language response. But what it is doing in the backend, it is every time going ahead and predicting that what could be the possible next word. That is the idea, to go ahead and show you this on the Postman, because every next word is what it is going ahead and predicting, until the time it feels that there could be something more, it does not goes ahead and add done is equal to true. Okay, and when the done is marked as true, it will stop generating, and that would be your final output. Got this, everyone? Okay, I said a word for the time taking process. Okay, so there is not that word. Okay, so that is not the process which is taking time. Okay, so there is something which is known as streaming. Okay, so when you give your UI, the front end, a capability to go ahead and show it token by token. So you can do two things. You can wait for each and every token to get generated, and you can show it all in one go as an output. But if you want to make sure that the user experience is not impacted, the user is not waiting on the front end for a much time, you cannot make it wait from 15 to 20 seconds. You need to show it token by token. You can directly start streaming. Like the very first token is generated, you can show it on the front end. That is something which is known as streaming. Streaming. Postman is, I am using this Postman just to make you understand, yes, what is happening in the backend, that what is the output which is getting generated over here. Okay, what is the actual response which we are getting? Because from here in this terminal, if you go ahead and see, you won't be getting an idea about it. What you see is a normal GPT like interface, just it is on the terminal, it does not have a UI. It's a vanilla feel which it gives you. You give an input and it is giving you an output in the same feel what GPT does. But this is to go ahead and show you that what is exactly happening in the backend. I think everyone is clear till here. It is not necessary for you to download Postman. Okay, you, if you don't feel like downloading it, download it. Just make sure that you understand that what I am trying to explain to you on Postman. That's it. Is everyone clear till here? Anyone have any doubt, any question? It could be possibly from the previous topic. You can still go ahead and ask me. I'll tell you. Can we make our own project using CPP and Llama and giving it a UI? You can go ahead and do it. This is what we would be going ahead and doing. We would be giving our own UI and we would be using our own model. We would be writing a custom prompt. We would be going ahead and changing its behavior. This is prompt engineering is also would be a part of this course that we would be doing to this language models. So this would be helpful from the industry point of view, BFIS industry, which we go ahead and call banking and finance, where they don't actually go ahead and prefer to use any third party API and to go ahead and call their API for the LLM call. This is where this knowledge would come into picture, where you would be able to go ahead and have a project that will be helping you to go ahead and use something on your premises, use locally. Okay, if we are done till here. Okay, so two representations of Ollama is what we have done till now. Okay, so firstly what we have done, we have downloaded Ollama. Okay, we have used a model known as 5.3, and we have understood that how you go ahead and use it from the terminal. The second method to go ahead and consume this Ollama API is to go ahead and hit it from Postman, where we also go ahead and understand that how the backend operates, and this is also which we did. Okay, now the third and the final implementation would be through a Python code, which I would be sharing my screen now. Yes, you can make your own LLM, Shankar, but as I said, a lot of money, a lot of computational power, and a lot of research and a lot of data would be required. Okay, now moving forward. I would be going ahead and showing you the code for the same. Okay. So obviously it would be difficult for the people who are there from the non-coding background, but the people who have idea or the knowledge about how this coding and programming works. But this is a very simple code. Okay, a very simple code. I would be moving towards the explanation part of that. Okay, either take a photo of that, or people who want to write it down can write it down. Postman is majorly used for testing purposes. The Postman as an application is used for testing your APIs. Okay, that this is the main use case of Postman. Okay, so you are saying that when you ask one question to your offline model, okay, it goes ahead and gives the same response again and again. But when you ask the same thing to ChatGPT, it goes ahead and gives you a different response every time. Is that what your question is, Shoyam Ghosh? Yeah, you can run this code. It will run. The condition to run this code is to go ahead and run your Ollama, run that command Ollama run 53. You can use the same Jupyter notebook in this is VS code which I am using, and this is a Jupyter notebook file. So the link which is there for all-in-one documentation, I would be uploading this txt file and the main.ipynb file as well. The both the file you would be finding it over there. So people, is there anyone actually who is typing? So I should wait. Type yes if you are typing. So in the YouTube chat, okay, the YouTube like a detail section, there is something which is known as all-in-one documentation. So after the session, maybe you will find that this all files are there. So, Priya, agenda is quite simple. Okay, so we are here to go ahead and understand the today's main focus is to understand that why we need an offline LLM, and if we need an offline LLM, then how to go ahead and set up that LLM. So today is majorly towards going ahead and setting things up. Tomorrow we would be moving towards the actual development or the implementation side, you could say. So just giving you an overview of this code, okay, quickly. Okay, so we use request library. If you want to go ahead and get this code for any other programming language, if you want, I can go ahead and show you. But still, that would have a dependency on Postman. Okay, so if you have Postman, okay. all you need to do is you need to go ahead and type the URL. Okay, the URL is something which I would have written in the documentation. This is the URL. If you, the steps here would involve that steps here are quite simple. You download Ollama and then you type Ollama, run the model name. The model is 53. Okay, you run this model. Okay, and then when you go ahead and run this model is now running on your local system. Okay, now if it is running on your local system, you need to call your local URL. Okay, the local URL is nothing but your local host, HTTP localhost, and then this port would be fixed 11434. This from here, this actually is a fixed URL. Complete URL is a fixed URL. Then you need to pass a JSON body. You will go ahead and say that what would be the model 53 and what is the message you want to send to the model. Okay, and if you run this, it will go ahead and give you a chunk wise output, that token wise output, that what was the output and how exactly it looks like. Okay, here if you can see on the top right, you see an option of code. If you click on that and if you go ahead and select the programming language of your choice, okay, you would be getting the code for that programming language. Okay, Node.js, JavaScript, C, PHP. Okay, so you can get the code for that from here. Okay, the same what I have done it for a very simple programming language, which is Python. Okay, all we are doing, we are using a request library, okay, and a JSON library. We are passing two parameters as an input, that what would be the user message, which is termed as prompt, and what would be the model. The model is fixed to 53. Okay, that would be coming over here. This is nothing but the same JSON which you saw on the Postman, and this is the URL which you are hitting. Okay, and then you go ahead and call, and for each and every chunk you go ahead and get the response key, and then you return the final response only when all the tokens are achieved, till the time the done is achieved. Okay, so I'll run this, and I run this, and the question is just give me the name of the capital of India, and I have printed the Ollama response. So let's see what it gives as an output. Okay, it has given the output as New Delhi. Okay, so this is what the code would look like, and this is how the Postman can go ahead and help you the code for any of the programming language which you are aware about. Python code is, yes, shorter than other code and easy to understand as well. And when it comes to AI, machine learning, deep learning, and any LLM call or generative AI, Python is the most preferred. Like 80% of the industry which works on AI works on Python. Okay, secondly, the second most used is Node.js. Let me know once you are done till here. Okay, done till here, everyone. Okay, so now I'll keep the forum open for any open doubts. Okay, Like I would be addressing all the doubts which would be there. Okay, in the middle of the session I may have missed on some doubts. Okay, so now the forum is open for that doubts, and in the time being what I'll do is I'll make sure that your what I'll say, the documents are also uploaded. Okay, yeah. So, so yes, the forum is open for you people. Do you have any doubts? So in the below section, like where you have the description and everything, front end programming language, we won't be going ahead and using any front end programming like React or anything. We are just creating what I would say a proof of concept, a prototype. In that case, what we would be doing is we would be using Streamline framework from Python itself to go ahead and develop the front end. Sorry. So the Python code is something which would be continued in tomorrow's session. Okay, so today we have just written the vanilla code. Okay, from tomorrow's session, majorly what we would be doing is we would be doing a continuation of this code where we would be going ahead and integrating, implementing a complete backend system with a session as well as chat history, and then we would be then integrating it to the front end as well. Okay, that's it, I believe, from my side today. Okay, we will be continuing tomorrow. Okay, we would be proceeding with this only. Okay, so just to give you a glimpse, today we understood these things. Firstly, that why we need generative AI, and if there is something which is known as generative AI, then what are LLMs? On which we LLMs are basically which are all driving this generative AI things. Okay, so there are LLMs which are bound to the companies only, the closed source LLMs, and there are open source LLMs. Okay, what were the limitation of those LLMs and what are the advantages of these LLMs? Okay, so the advantages of these LLMs is within the system we go ahead and keep our information. Okay, the disadvantages could be possibly that we won't be getting that much of what I would say the capabilities of 30 trillion 30 300 billions and 30 trillion tokens which this new LLMs have right now. Our possibilities would be limited, but yes, we are not compromising on any of the data leak which could possibly happen if we access it through the internet. Okay, secondly, we understood that yes, there are various tools out there available which can go ahead and allow you to access this LLM offline, but preferably we would be using Ollama and the APIs from Ollama to go ahead and download this LLM locally and use them. Okay, so this is what we learned. Now, in the upcoming session, what majorly we would be focusing upon is we would be continuing with this model. We would be understanding the concept of how to go ahead and write a prompt to a model such that it goes ahead and behaves or answer in the way which you wanted to go ahead and answer, then how to go ahead and maintain a conversation history, and after doing all this, then we would be finally going ahead and creating a front end of the same, just like how the chat gpt works. You send a message and it goes ahead and gives a response to you. So this is the ultimate thing which we would be trying to achieve. So from tomorrow, majorly more of the Python you would be seeing. Okay, and that's it from my side. That's it from my side. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. We'll meet tomorrow, same time. It is 1.5 hour session. Okay, and it would be from 3 days, including today. Thank you so much, everyone.